A good place to start hiking the Cranberry Lake 50 is at Wanakena, New York. If you need some last-minute supplies or some good advice, check out Otto's Abode. This little shop had some groceries, some fine quality coffee, and some good advice from an awesome guy named Nolan. I'm in Upper New York State at the Cranberry Lake hiking area, part of the Adirondack Park, and it's pouring rain. I am kitted out, including my kilt. I look marvelous. In any case, we'll see how the day unfolds. Going clockwise from Wanakena, you have some road walking, not my favorite, about a mile of it, until you reach the Forestry College, and then you're back into the forest. As you continue on the trail towards Cranberry Lake Village, the paths are rolling and gentle. However, in the spring, it is muddy and mucky. The trails surrounding Cranberry Lake are multi-purpose, multi-use. In the winter, they use it for skiing, and in the summer, it's a great backpacking route. It continued to rain all day, right into the night, but I was prepared. I had a rain skirt and a great raincoat. Bonus, there were no bugs. The trail passes through a stretch of private lands just southwest of Cranberry Lake. The forests were stripped clean, and the trails became mud. I must admit, I'm very appreciative that the landowner let us use his or her property. However, I have mixed feelings about what they've done to it. I have information that there is a diner in the little town up ahead, the little town of Cranberry Lake. Now, it's supposed to be closing at 2 o'clock, this diner. It is now 1:15. Can I make it? I guess we all need motivations. So, 45 minutes to Cranberry Lake, or I eat a granola bar for lunch. We're now in the town of Cranberry Lake, and to get there I had to walk on the highway. Not my most favorite hiking, but the bonus is, or hoping there's a bonus, there's a diner in town that can serve me breakfast. However, the information I had was they close at 2. It's 2:30 now, so it may be a protein bar for lunch. Yay! I never did make it to the diner on time for lunch, so I walked right through town, headed to the trailhead, and stopped there for lunch of a delicious power bar and some pepperettes. After lunch, I hiked for a couple more hours and settled in at the base of Hedgehog Mountain for the night. As the dark rolled in, I slipped into my tent and read Appalachian Trials by Zach Davis. All in, it was a relatively short day, about 15 miles. I went from Wanakena to Cranberry Lake to the base of Hedgehog Mountain.
Good morning. It was a cold, wet night last night. It rained most of the night. Thank goodness the tent performed very well. I'm sleeping in the Gossamer Gear 1, and it's huge. The poles go outwards. There's two of them, which gives natural awning. So I was able to keep the front door open, at least partly open, all night during the rain, and it kept me dry. Excellent. Last night, just before I went to bed, I heard this giant whack in the water. It sounded like someone threw a large stone in the water, so I ran out to the water edge and saw a beaver, a large friggin' beaver, swimming. So again, when it saw me, it flapped its tail, and that's what the large sound was. So it kept on doing that same thing all throughout the evening. And then first thing this morning at around 5:30, I heard some more flapping of the tails. So those beavers have kept me alert and awake. And one of the great adventures in the outdoors. Anyway, a nice wet hike this morning. It just stopped raining. Yay! It's about 6 o'clock, ready to go.
There's something special about hiking in the morning, in the spring, right after a rain. All the animals come out, the birds are chirping, the air smells wonderfully fresh. I generally don't like hiking in the spring, but this is particularly good today. Ooh, except for that. Why I don't like hiking in the spring? It's because of all three seasons. Number one, muck. When the snow melts, all the ground turns into muck. Heavy flows of water make it difficult to navigate. That's season one. Season two is allergies. When the trees blossom and the leaves come out, they vomit pollen all over the place. I know it's good for the environment and good for nature, but it's not good for my allergies. That's number two. Third season of spring I don't like is bugs. After the first two have passed, the skitters and the black flies emerge and will gobble up any warm-blooded creature out here. It tortures the moose and deer, and us humans, of course, are no exception. So I like to miss spring hiking. I bike during that time, and I wait till summer and fall. I generally don't eat breakfast at the campsite. I either cold soak when I first leave, or I set up the stove and have a breakfast about an hour down the trail. I got lost. I went out of the way about 0.2 of a mile down a hill, up again. The trail ended. Generally the markers are pretty good here, the trail markers, but I think this is a human error this time. In any case, huffing and puffing, and I continue on. I found out where I got lost, and I'm continuing from here. I've tried all sorts of things for purifying the water in the backwoods, from chemicals to drips to pumps. Right now I'm testing out the Sawyer Micro Squeeze, and I'm liking it. It was a great afternoon hike. The weather was much better. The ground had dried up a little bit too. The terrain was moderate, yet challenging. Rather enjoyed my afternoon. Apparently the geology in Upper New York State, the Adirondack Park, is very similar to Frontenac Park in southern Ontario. Another great day. I settled in to my tent just at dusk, and read a book and went to bed early. On day 2, I hiked from the base of Hedgehog Mountain to the base of Indian Mountain. Good morning. I got my glasses on today. What do you think? And I thought I'd try hiking with my glasses. I've never hiked with them before. One of the torments of growing old is your eyes start to fail. So it's certainly helping. It's also protecting me from some of these stray branches as well, giving me a little bit of eye protection. My plans have changed. The trail has been much tougher than I anticipated. Not the terrain and such, I've been out here before. It's the spring hiking. There's so much water on the trail, it's making it very difficult to navigate. The beavers have made all sorts of extra dams blocking the trails and other things, making them almost impassable. So it's been a lot more work and a lot tougher, a lot more time than I anticipated. So if I want to catch my Toronto Raptors playing in the 7th game of the playoff series against Philadelphia, which is tonight, I gotta honk it now and get out. And I don't think I can do it by completing the complete Cranberry Lake 50. So there's a cutoff up here, which is gonna save me about 8 kilometers. And I'm gonna do that. And I should get home by about 8 o'clock tonight, if all is good. In any case, we got a PBR as a backup plan. Hiking's important, but there are other things in life. That is not coyote scat, that is wolf scat. I would think, look at the bones in there from its kill, and of course all the fur. And some perspective of how big it is. There's my hand. Watch out for the wolves. I never did see a wolf. However, I did see a fisher. That's the first time for me. I was just thinking this part of the trail is drier and a little easier to hike on. Thinking that maybe after a day of drying up, the wetness has disappeared a little bit. I was wrong. Check this out. I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is I met people for the first time in 3 days. Some day hikers were venturing out this far and we had a chat. The bad news is the beavers have blocked off the trail back there totally. There is an alternative route which has been roughed in by somebody, and it's not so bad, but it led me astray. I was actually lost in the woods for a while, but I was able to kind of collect my thoughts, sort out my bearings, and I'm back on track. Anyway, that's an hour of my day I won't get back, other than the good experience I learned. See you at Wakina. On day 3, I hiked from the base of Indian Mountain to Wanakina with a couple of shortcuts. All in all, a very challenging and rewarding hike, even though my Cranberry Lake 50 was likely a Cranberry Lake 42. So I missed the Olmsted Pond Loop and the Round Top Mountain Loop so I could see the Toronto Raptors.